It's been 6 months since I have purchased my Apple Watch Ultra, and during this time, and while other YouTubers were doing their best to make it seem like they didn't sit in a chair all day, I gotta be honest with you, I'm a normal guy, and not once have I taken this thing on any hikes or deep-sea diving adventures, but I have learned a lot more about what makes this particular Apple Watch such an attractive option for normal users like me that occasionally go to the gym or take a walk around New York City all day or something like that. So I want to go over the long-term benefits of owning an Apple Watch Ultra, talk about how the battery has held up, how durability has been, talk about my favorite new band, and if this Apple Watch Ultra is actually worth the $800 asking price as a normal user, or if you should go for something else entirely. Now, I'm sure the most interesting question you have for me as someone who has worn this watch practically every day for the past 6 months is, do I still like the design, and how well has the durability held up on this watch? First of all, design is something that I still really like on the Ultra. When I first got the Apple Watch Ultra, I was pretty bold. I said it was beautiful, and I said it looked really good for an Apple Watch that's nearly twice the thickness of a normal Series 8. And some of the design choices are actually pretty helpful. So things like the big orange accented action button are really useful. I use it for a stopwatch timer, which I use a lot when cooking or for timing my espresso shots every morning. The bigger digital crown on the side has also lived up to the promise of being more easy to use during winter when wearing thicker gloves, where the smaller digital crown was a little bit more finicky. And I really like the crown guard during my workouts, which actually prevents my weightlifting gloves from accidentally pressing the digital crown when moving my wrist like this. So those have actually been functional design benefits that I really like. Now, the titanium finish is still just as beautiful as the day I purchased it. Looking around the sides of the watch, I can't spot any scuffs or scratches on the resistant silver titanium. The only area where I can spot a small ding is on the top raised part of the watch. This lip area was designed to protect the Ultra's display from impacts, and it must have done its job because there is a small dent on the lip. But while there is a small dent on the lip, the sapphire crystal display is still perfect with not a single scratch on the surface 6 months later. Overall, not only has the design held up extremely well in durability, but it has yet to lose that newness factor to me. I still think this watch looks new 6 months later. I still think it looks fresh, and I really enjoy how it looks in my daily wear. Part of that look is now something I didn't have during my initial review, a new Apple Watch band. I always love that you can change up Apple Watch bands. It's a great way to get a fresh bit of style and a bit of change in your daily life. Now, my new band that I've been using for the past few months has been Apple's Ocean Band, which did originally launch with the Trail Loop and the Alpine Loop as the 3 bands tailor-made for the more durable Apple Watch Ultra. Originally, I thought the Ocean Band was going to be the least useful for me, as I wasn't planning on doing any deep-sea diving, but after seeing it in person, I thought, hey, it does look really nice as a watch strap, and it doesn't look that out of place for daily wear. But the band was actually pretty well suited to my lifestyle because the material of the band felt very similar to the silicone material that Apple uses for its sport bands, and the Ocean Band kind of just felt like a thicker version with that. So not only did I like the look of this band, but it also meant that I didn't really need to take off this band during exercising, which is really important to me because I sometimes I'll use like a more premium band, and then like after I'm done, when I go to the gym or something like that, I got to take that off and then put on the rubber band. And then when I come back home, I got to take it off. It's like a small thing, right? But like after a while, it's kind of like, oh, it's annoying. I got to take this band off, put it on. It's something you have to remember. And I'm pretty lazy, so stuff like that always irks me. So I can keep this band on for daily wear and for the gym, and the Ocean Band is very sweat and water resistant and dries very quickly, as I'm sure you would guess. And it does actually support more fine adjustments compared to the Sport Band, which means that at least on my wrist, it was overall more comfortable to wear while on the treadmill and running. It didn't bounce as much as when I would wear the sport strap. Now, I would say that my biggest thing going against the design of the Ultra is, well, it is big. Like after wearing this for 6 months and then trying on like the Apple Watch SE or the Series 8, the Apple Watch Ultra, it's just so much bigger on the wrist. And despite it actually being pretty lightweight relative to its size because of that nice lightweight titanium, I feel like the size can be a bit more irritable compared to the smaller Apple Watches. So the way I kind of explain this is like, I can wear this thing all day long, and I feel like the comfort on it is pretty okay. Like I'm pretty comfortable with it. And a lot of times I don't even notice it. But like after a day of use, like wearing this thing all day long, and then as I'm like about to like hit my head on the pillow, With the other Apple Watches, like sometimes I'd use them for sleep tracking. With the Ultra, I kind of don't want to. At the end of the day, it's kind of like, all right, time to take you off, time to put you on like the charger or something. And that's kind of ironic considering the Ultra has the best battery life and probably doesn't need to be placed on the charger every single night. And that's definitely like the biggest benefit of having this bigger watch. The battery life on the Apple Watch Ultra is crazy good. Like I can get around 2 to 3 days of usage on a single charge, and that's a single charge using usually battery draining tasks, like tracking an hour's worth of exercise per day. In fact, because I usually end my day with plenty of battery life remaining, it has actually changed the way that I have been using my Apple Watch, because before I'd be hesitant to turn on those battery draining features like the workout app, which Apple says can drain a normal Apple Watch battery in just 6 hours. However, I have been activating workout tracking for much more activities because I have so much battery to spare. So when I'm even going on like a shorter 15-minute walk, usually I wouldn't have activated the walking workout app, but now I do. And when I toggle that, the data from this activity has been more accurate because of this. Another interesting thing about the Apple Watch Ultra battery life is how its behavior has changed over time. Like I said before, it's impossible for me to kill the battery on the Ultra in a day of use, no matter what I do to this thing. And the Apple Watch Ultra has basically learned my usage behavior, and through some battery health saving features, my Apple Watch Ultra usually every night only charges to just 80% of its capacity. Even with just 80% of the capacity, the Ultra still lasts me through an entire day of usage no problem. And as a result, the battery in my Ultra has aged gracefully. Apple's battery health reporting is still reporting that 6 months later with full usage that the Ultra is still at 100% battery life. Now, this is unheard of in an Apple Watch from my usage. My old Series 7 was already below 95% of its battery health by 6 months into its life cycle. This huge battery life boost means not only will the Ultra last through multiple days of use, but it also means spending more for the Ultra means that if you do keep your watches longer, which you probably should, you shouldn't be like me and buy them every year. That's kind of stupid. But if you keep them longer, your Apple Watch Ultra should last much longer than a traditional Apple Watch without experiencing the usual symptoms of an aging battery. Now, when it comes to exclusive features on the Apple Watch Ultra for an $800 watch, you'd be kind of surprised to learn that it's really similar to the lower cost Series 8. So it has the same processor and the same health sensors at a watch that is half the cost. And it doesn't really have that many exclusive features. So yeah, it's more durable. So it has enhanced water resistance if you are a deep sea scuba diver, and enhanced GPS tracking for, I guess, technically more accurate outdoor workouts and stuff like that. But again, these are features I really haven't been using in my more traditional days as an Apple Watch Ultra wearer. What I will say, though, is that it has been kind of motivational. It has been a motivational product. And I've used the Apple Watch as a motivational tool since I bought my original one all the way back in 2015 on my original fitness journey. This year with the Ultra, my fitness journey has been altered more than just losing weight, and I have been strength training consistently for the past 6 months. Now, the Ultra isn't giving me any more details or data than a Series 8 would give me, but the enhanced battery means that I can do longer gym sessions without worrying about having to top off the charge of an Apple Watch like halfway through the day. It's also, strangely enough as it sounds, it's a reminder to me that this is a serious watch. It's $800, and that cost and that presence of the Ultra is a reminder. It's very aspirational to me on my own personal fitness goals. So that might be some kind of weird psychology to justify the purchase of an expensive Apple Watch, but I gotta be honest, it has helped me be more consistent than I have ever been in my health and wellness throughout my life, and I have been really appreciative of that. Now, there's lots more we could talk about with the Apple Watch Ultra 6 months later. We all know the Apple Watch can literally save your life. It can track your heart rate. It can take an ECG on your wrist. It's an invaluable tool in so many different areas, but so do other Apple Watches, right? Like, that's not exclusive to the Ultra. You can get an Apple Watch that costs much less and kind of get a very similar experience. And I don't blame you if you come away from this review thinking that the Apple Watch Ultra isn't right for you and that you would rather spend less on one. Because listen, the Apple Watch lineup is great right now. The price ranges on things like the new Apple Watch SE has the same processing power as the Apple Watch Ultra. So if you're getting a lower cost SE, or maybe you want to step up a little bit for the Series 8, I don't think those are wrong decisions. I think the vast majority of people should probably be buying those Apple Watches. The Apple Watch SE, it's kind of really all you need. You get some niceties as you move up in the lineup, but for most things, you kind of don't need it. But hey, I get it. You're curious about the Ultra. You're watching this video, and you want to know, is it worth it for the normal user? Because worth is kind of subjective. And should you really buy the Ultra over these other Apple Watches that I just recommended? And the answer to that, if you couldn't tell, I think this was pretty positive. The answer is yes. You are spending more money, but you're getting a more premium and a more tough and durable design that I think has more character. You're getting a larger display that could be pretty useful to you, especially if you use the typing feature, which I do utilize on my Apple Watch. And you're getting an unstoppable battery that will not only last longer, but also you can make sure that you can wear the Apple Watch without issue for years to come. So in the long run, compared to like a Series 8, maybe this saves you money if you're not replacing it every single year. If this lasts you for the next 5 years, maybe that's something that's actually going to save you money if you think about it that way. So yeah, I do recommend the Apple Watch Ultra, even if you're not hiking or running ultra marathons. I think this is my favorite Apple Watch experience yet, and I still recommend it even to normal users. Now, one day I won't be a normal user though. I will ascend into the pantheon of the gods and shed my mortal skin and basically I'm continuing to lift weights until I look like 20% of a Greek statue. 10% is okay. I just want you to know, as long as I don't go totally out of shape, that's the goal, my friends. That is the Ultra lifestyle.